put a ring on it. Now we've been going back and forth with Alexia, with Darion, and who's right, who's wrong, who's telling the truth, who's lying. And the truth is somewhere in the middle. Because Alexia did her interview a couple weeks ago with Crystal XO, and she was basically explaining the allegations, trying to explain the timeline. And even when she came on, I was still confused about a lot of things, because she was never quite sure, or she was never really explicit about when they became on and when they were off. It was never explicitly told. A timeline was not really given as far as when they were on and when they were off. For me personally, if you're going on a channel to try to vindicate yourself, the most, or I should say the least you could do, is give a proper timeline. Give dates. See when you started something. Okay, we started in 2013 and we ended in 2016 because I had to go to play in Europe. We came back in 2020, whatever. If you give proper timelines, people are better able to follow your story and probably be more likely to believe you. But there were never any timelines, as far as dates are concerned. But she does allege that Darion lied or is lying about the whole thing being fabricated. But it is very fishy. I cannot tell you guys that I wholeheartedly believed Alexia, because there are just too many things that are very fishy. And then on Kamisha Reviews, Georgie, his ex or his current girlfriend, I'm not sure, came on to say or to spill her side of the story as far as the whole show was concerned. Georgie claims that she has always been there in Darion's life. She's always been with him. She's been with him for over 10 years. She didn't know anything about Alexia. And when the show situation did come up, she looked at it as an opportunity for Darion to promote his stuff. And despite the nature of the show, and if anybody doesn't know what Ready to Love is, Put a Ring on It is, it's couples that have come to a crossroad and are trying to figure out whether they should stay together or leave. And Georgie said she was actually there during the filming. She would come and pick up Darion. She would come and wait for Darion. She would see them doing their scenes, and I'm pretty sure Alexia saw her and had an idea of who she was, which is just crazy. I understand why she wouldn't admit to it, because it would make her look very suspicious. So Dina came with her own receipts. Dina claimed that Alexia asked her to somewhat validate her claim that she had known Darion for 14 years. However, knowing somebody for 14 years and being with somebody on and off for 14 years is a completely different thing. Furthermore, she was asked about whether she knew Darion's mom. She claimed that she spoke to her, and the way she said it, it appears as if she only spoke to his mom one time. You speaking to somebody's mom one time or even a couple times does not mean that you know them. It doesn't mean that you know her, because of course Darion's mom came on Kamisha Reviews to explain her side of things, and based on what she's saying, she didn't know who Alexia was. She only knew of Alexia because Alexia called her in, did she say in March, about the show Put a Ring on It. That's what she said. Prior to that, she didn't know who Alexia was. And the way Alexia answered that question on Krista's interview, to me, just verified the fact that she does not know his mom. And it's not necessarily that she lied, but she never even answered the question. She said she spoke to him. I could speak to someone and not know them. That does not prove I know them. I don't think she knows the mom at all. So for that, I think she kind of lied. Yeah, you spoke to her a few times, but do you know her? Do you know what she likes? Do you know her personality? I personally doubt it. Now, another thing is, she mentioned they were together on for like 4 years. But I don't know what the timeline was like. I think she said they met in college. She went overseas to play basketball. And they were trying to work it out. It wasn't working out. She didn't trust him. Came back to Atlanta and decided to make it work with Darion. Now, when she decided to make it work after she came back from Europe, I don't know the timeline of that either. However, it's very clear that she mentioned last year, or the first half of last year, they tried to make things work again. However, she moved on to somebody else. People are alleging that she was with this guy called Travis, who is in a show called The Oval. Alright? Now, people are alleging that, yes, she was an actor, is an aspiring actor, and for them, it makes Darion's claim that they were both actors acting, trying to better their platform, credible for some people, but for me, it doesn't necessarily mean anything. Now, as far as her having this big good relationship with his kids, I don't know if that's necessarily the case. I don't know if that was necessarily the case. Maybe she met them a couple of times, but to say that you had this solid relationship with them as if you spent lots of time with them and all that stuff, I don't necessarily think that that's true. Now, that further proves to me that Georgie was always in the picture, because then she mentioned the fact one time she came to his house or wherever he was, and she saw this mixed looking, very light child or white kid. And he referred to the kid as his child. And Alexia looked baffled because she was like, "That's your kid?" And he said, "Yes. I'm 100% sure that was Georgie's kid. I am 100% that was Georgie's child." And that just proves that she was always in the picture. Now, another thing that made me question a little bit of what Alexia was saying was just that she said that some things, Darion was telling half-truths, or he was telling 2 truths and a lie, but she never specified what exactly was the lie he told and what exactly was the truth that he told. And that is something that will always leave room for speculation for people that are skeptical, because a lot of women believed her after she came out and spoke, all because they feel like they have been in a situation similar, or they have seen a situation similar to that. But I must tell people to be careful, because even though you have seen a situation like that, that does not mean that the person is telling the truth, because they may have seen a situation like that too and may just be regurgitating what they saw too. But that may not necessarily be what their experience was. So I feel like people should really sit and think, why am I believing this person? And if you don't have concrete reasons as to why you believe somebody, you need to really step back and try to figure out why you were so quick to believe somebody when really and truly that person didn't give you any solid facts to believe them. So, because I remember one caller was like, "Oh, I believed her because I saw something similar happen." I could come here and regurgitate a story time that I saw someone else go through and pass it off as a situation I went through. Does that mean that I'm telling the truth about the situation? No. Did you hear any facts to make you think that, oh, okay, that person is telling the truth? No. The point I'm making is somebody could lie about a situation they're in, and the lie can be truthful. I wonder if people really understand this. A lie can be truthful. A lie can be sourced from factual information. That's why it's so important that people have to do their own due diligence when it comes to certain things, because it appears factual. But is it? Somebody can tell you this huge story about, if you watch, have anybody seen, there's this YouTube channel, I forgot the name of it. I don't know if it's BuzzFeed. It's not BuzzFeed, but it's something similar to BuzzFeed, where they have a bunch of people and they have to basically guess who the culprit is. And a lot of the time, I remember this one time, this girl actually won because she was able to manipulate the other people into thinking that she really was part of the other group when she wasn't. What she did was regurgitate other people's experiences and passed it off as her own. Is her experiences, are the experiences itself lies? No. But was it not true that she went through these experiences? No, it was not. So people have to really be careful about their gullibility, how easy it is for them to just believe people. Now, could it be a situation where she was manipulated? Yes, because he does have manipulative tendencies. And these women are so crazy about him that they tolerate things I've never heard women tolerate. Like Georgie tolerated this man going on a social platform and claiming that, acting like they were in this long relationship of 14 years and comfortable with this person saying they love another person, and comfortable with this person, your man kissing another woman, comfortable with your man having sex with another woman, comfortable with your man claiming that he was gonna propose to this woman. Like, how could you be comfortable accepting stuff like that? To me, that is absolutely crazy. I don't quite understand it. For you to be so enamored with somebody that you allow them to do that to you whilst you're there, very much in a relationship with them, is crazy. Like, I do not understand that level of manipulation. I don't understand it. To me, it seems very stupid. But maybe going through it, it's another situation. Then we have him staying with her. He claimed he never stayed with Alexia. He claimed he constantly came in the morning, was driven to her house in the morning when they had to film. But then when she was asked if he lived with her, she said she did. He did. However, my issue with that is, if he lived with you, right? Why is it that Georgie is saying he was always with her? And the truth lies somewhere within Darion. Well, somewhere within the manipulation and the lies. Because if he's with Georgie, Georgie thinks that's her boo, that he's always in the house. And then Alexia is saying that he's living with Alexia. That's kind of weird. Where is he living? He's claiming that he didn't live with Alexia and that he was driven to the place every morning. She claims that sometimes he used to go places and come back weeks later or days later, or come back very late at night. That wasn't fishy to you? Now, bear in mind, they were not together last year. Last year, she was in another relationship. And this year, January, I believe, she hit him back up and they decided to give it another shot. She was suspicious of him, stopped sleeping with him around February. The show started filming, I'm not even sure when the show started filming, around maybe April, March, April, around that time. Because the mother alleges that she contacted her in March. And that's the only real interaction she's had with her. So there's that. So if the man is staying with you, how is it that you don't know where he's going in for long periods of time? How is it that he was barely at your house but he lived with you? To me, that sounds extremely weird. Now, I'm not saying he didn't live with her, but it's just very fishy. This is very fishy. Somebody was saying, how come he lived with you but then was being driven to your house every morning? It makes no sense, you know. Now, advice that I'd like to give to anybody that wants to go somewhere to clarify their name: make sure you have receipts, visual receipts with dates, so people could verify what you're saying. Another thing that you need to do is speak very specifically about certain things. So if somebody asks you a question, answer very directly, because when you don't do that, you come across very disingenuous. And a lot of people want to be Team Lex. That is absolutely fine. Do I 100% believe her? No. Do I 100% believe Darion? No, I do not. However, what it seems like to me is he is one hell of a manipulator for all these women to be coming out of the woodworks claiming the outrageous things they did for him, all in the name of loving him. And he used that to his power. He definitely used that to his power. Now, was Alexia another victim? Perhaps. Do I think she felt a bit bamboozled by him? I do. Do I think they were in somewhat of a cahoots? I do. Because another thing that is kind of baffling is, how are you supposed to be not talking to him, mad at him, upset with him, but then you claim, or a video is posted of both of you sitting very comfortably in a club? And why did you even take that video when there was a risk that it would be posted? She's alleging that he probably took the video, but he's saying that he wasn't even holding the camera, which I don't think he was holding the camera. I think she was taking the snap or the video, or she was live, she said, and he pulled up on her. For somebody to be that heartbroken is just very kind of interesting to see their interaction with the person that supposedly betrayed them. And that's all I have to say about that. That is another thing that had me very suspicious. And everything Alexia posts, she's always hashtagging Will Packard, put a ring on it. So do I think that she's doing it to draw like more publicity to her page, more publicity to a potential spin-off? Yes. She claimed that, yes, if they were to offer a spin-off, she would absolutely take it. But for somebody to be so devastated to so easily take a show about her finding love, I think is very suspect to me. Anyways, the motive for Darion to even throw Alexia under the bus is weird, but it was definitely very strange that you claim to be so upset with this guy for betraying you, and then behind the scenes you're very cuddly with him at a club. I don't care what he did, I don't care what happened, like, you seem very comfortable around him, and that's very suspicious. But anyways, that's all I want to speak about when it comes to putting on it. Jessica didn't seem to really believe Alexia, because she has posted like some shady things. For example, on her Instagram page, she posted a picture. She posted a picture of herself looking very beautiful, and then underneath it she says, mood, millions of lies, hashtag put a ring on it, hashtag own TV. And if you really look at social media, you've never quite seen Alexia and Jessica really interact with each other. And also Jessica was under Kamisha Review's post, basically kind of alluding to her possibly being a liar, you know. And she never verbally says they were liars, although I think on Twitter she does say they lied, but our story was truthful. So maybe she does think there was some lies told by Alexia. Who knows? But her good friend what's the other one's name? Something. LaShonda believes her for sure. LaShonda is sticking by her friend's side, period. Which there's no problem with that at all. Anyways, you guys, I think that's it for... That was, I believe, put a ring on it. Yes, I was put a ring on it tea pertaining to Alexia, whether her story was truthful or not. Georgie is calling Darion's children her stepchildren, and if it was something that was not serious, I would be very surprised. It's either one, the woman is delusional, or one, she very much was in a long-term serious relationship with Darion, and for some reason allowed him to sleep around with other people on her. That I would never understand. Your self-esteem has to be down below the ground for you to accept something of that sort. So this was the moment I think Alexia came to the condo and Georgie was there. She posted the text message, "Hello, we have not met yet, but Darion tells me that you are supposed to be helping him with love and hip-hop. My name is Georgie, his longtime friend and girl. I saw the post in your story and would like to respectfully request that you remove them. I find them disrespectful, especially when all you guys are handling is business. I was asleep in his room when he brought you up the other night, which would have been okay if y'all are platonic. I just left town Tuesday night and see your post right after I leave. Makes me feel like there is an intent on your end. Please remove those posts, respectfully. Business should be business." He stated that those should have never been posted and he was going to give you a call about it, but as a woman, I felt the need to say something myself, woman to woman. In my perspective, for you, Georgie, to even feel the need to speak to another woman that you were okay with your man pretending to be in a relationship with just baffles my brain cells. That is something I will never be able to wrap my head around. The level of delusion and manipulation that she's under, I cannot fathom. Anyway, she seems like a very nice person, but for a man to be manipulating you for so long, for so many years, and a lot of the things that were found out about certain women, she herself was just finding it out as well. So I guess she's in a similar situation to Alexia, who's also just finding out stuff about him. So Alexia never claimed that they did not go to find opportunities. She does admit that they did go to take advantage of particular opportunities when it comes to more visibility for their respective platforms. She didn't deny that. Okay, so that's something that they definitely did. Were they in a made-up relationship? Maybe on Darion's end. But the thing with Darion is, you cannot completely believe what he's saying, because yes, he might feel like the relationship was made up. He might feel like they faked it in his perspective, but she might have genuinely thought that they were in something. And that I cannot disprove. I cannot say that she lied about her experience. I cannot say that she was necessarily telling the truth either, because certain things were just very fishy.